Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 60. Yeah, like this is kind of crazy. I didn't realize that a podcast or starting a podcast from the pandemic, literally 2 years ago would morph into this. And some weeks are better than others. I'm still putting out content. It's still somewhat fresh. And my thing, if I would have kept going, because when I originally started this podcast, I was doing it in my garage. So, and it was more about just working out and weightlifting and that type of shit. That and just trying to get through the pandemic. The mental aspect of it. That shit is still hot. Yeah. Whoa. Um. Anyway, it's funny. I look back into like some of the very first videos that I did, and it's like, and that's where the title comes from, Clangin and Bangin with Mikey. That's where the title comes from. It comes from the workouts. It comes from me sitting in my garage, in March and April of 2020, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do for 24 hours a day, right? Anyway, quick story behind me, man. I'm kind of a nerd, you know. I like to read a lot. I like to, do research. I like to, one of the current books that I'm reading is about John Thompson. John Thompson was, if not one of the successful college coaches in the history of basketball, if not the, one of the most successful college coaches in basketball. I think he had something like a 95% graduation rate, and everybody that he went on to coach at Georgetown, Allen Iverson, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, and the list goes list goes on and on and on. Like they all were either high draft picks or they were, and they left school with a degree. Well, most of them did. And I usually every day I either I write rhymes in my book or I study for my certification or I read this during my lunch breaks. I take my time. I just kind of zone out and I just read. I don't do anything work related. While at work, well, during that lunch break, I don't do anything work related because that's my time. Or sometimes I'll just leave work for that lunch break and I'll go somewhere. Go down to like the local park or something and just relax. And some days I'll do that. And because we all need to unwind. But anyway, this point of this podcast, man, is um, I had a really good friend of mine. Shit, excuse me. Let me get a cough drop. Fuck. Um. So every Sunday, I sent out these Sunday check-ins, and I started doing that because I was watching I Am Athlete, and every once in a while, like they would do this, like they would do these check-ins, and it was more just like based off where you at financially, physically, mentally, so psychologically, emotionally. Um, I didn't take that whole thing. I just took on a scale of 1 to 10, like how you living and how you feeling, because if you answer those two things in a higher in a higher way, everything else could fall into place, right? Anyway, man, So I started doing that, and one of my partners, from my college days, he hit me up this morning, and he asked me the exact same question that I ask about 10 to 15 people every Sunday. And he asked me the exact same question. And I was like, yo, I'm cool. I'm at a 9, bro. The thing about me is when I say that I'm at a 9, it's like, even though shit may be bothering me, even though some things ain't working out the way I wanted to work out, I can't control that. The only thing I can control is how I react to situations, and the energy that I give to situations. I've been told that I'm a lot to deal with. I've been told that I'm pressure, and I've been told all these things, right? And I'm like, okay, bet, 100%, you right, But at the same time, I'm like, yo, if I'm pressure, then go find something else go find less. If I'm too much, go find less. One of my good friends, I love that girl to death. She told me that, that you're a lot to deal with. I'm like, I know. I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna change up, just to make you feel comfortable. I'm not gonna stop being who I am because that's the nigga that that's the nigga that you came to like. That's the nigga that you love. And that means I was like, and with all that happening, I'm just gonna always be myself, man. And like I'm not gonna change up who I am. I'm not gonna stop who I'm becoming. I'm not gonna stop me being the genuine dude that I am because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, what other people think. I mean, it doesn't matter what other people think of you. That's your reputation. Not your character. And at the end of the day, your character is a lot more important than anything else. So and yeah, so your character and everything, man, is like that's what guides you through your moral compass. And everything that you go through is, gonna make you a better individual. It's gonna, growth is painful. You know, growth is, it's hard. It's definitely something that's not, it's not for the timid. It's not for the weak. I always tell people, it's like, yo, if you want something different, you gotta do different. You have to do different. You can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expect the same, expect a different result. That's definition of insanity. It's like only people who do that are crazy people. You know, and yeah, and at the end of the day, man, I just look at certain things and certain situations, and I'm like, yo, even the women that I date, or even the women that I talk to, um, I don't really force anything, man. I try not to force anything because it's like, yo, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, And it's like, and at the end of the day, um, I had this one, I had this one shorty I was talking to, and like she she kept saying, yeah, like let's kick it, this and this and that, like let's go out, man. Okay, cool. And I hit her up yesterday, but like, oh, say, was it yesterday? No, no, it was Thursday. Hit her up Thursday, be like, hey, what you doing this weekend? Let's kick it. And I was like, I didn't hear nothing from her, and it's like, so when that happened, I'm like, okay, bet, you obviously don't want nothing to do with me because it's like, um, you're asking me like when I was free, this and this and that, and I give you the itinerary. I ask you like, oh, so I'm free this weekend. So well, let's link up this weekend. And I ain't hear nothing back. I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna keep it moving. Cause at the end of the day, not to sound like a fucking dick, but my time is valuable. My time is not something to fuck with. And so it's like if you unsure about something, man, like go kick it with a motherfucker that you not that you unsure with because I ain't the nigga. I ain't that one. You know. And my thing, man, is like if that's the case, dog, is like if you're not sure about whatever it is, have the self respect and the dignity to to just leave me alone. Don't like if you're not sure with with what you want or how you want to go about it, just leave me the fuck alone. And I think at the end of the day, man, when I say that to people, it's like, yo, just have the decency to leave me alone. If you don't know what you want, leave me alone. Because I don't need to deal with the distractions, all the disrespect that comes with it. Because it's like when you make a time for an individual, and that individual, you know, and it goes both ways. Like a lot of motherfuckers want to sit there and play games with you and shit. I mean, and a lot of people don't know what they want, and that's cool. Keep your ass the way the fuck over there, bro. It's like don't call me, don't text me, don't DM me, don't do a goddamn thing, right? Because at the end of the day, if you ain't with it, don't waste my motherfucking time. But yeah, yesterday, man, I did some not some retail therapy, but a little bit of retail therapy. I went out and I bought some records. I haven't done that. Damn, I haven't done that in a while. You know, and I spent some money yesterday, man. But oh, I also wanted to go see the movie Moonfall, bro. Y'all need to go check out the movie Moonfall because it's like, hmm yeah. Um, like I said earlier, I'm a nerd. I like sci-fi movies. I like shit that just that sparks my critical thinking. And I was sitting in the movie and I'm like, yo, like what if that actually could happen? You know what I mean? It's like, what if there was a AI AI, being out there that could like control the moon's orbit and everything, man. That's you know, and it kind of got me thinking, man. It's like because you figure it's like, yo, the universe is massive, so we can't be the only life force, in this solar system. There's got to be some other life force out there, So and it's also interesting too, how the Earth is situated just far enough away for the sun you know, to not burn up, and but just close enough to inhabit life. And what are they like nine different solar or so 9 different planets, and like we're the only one that can produce life and oxygen and everything else. And so it kind of that kind of stuff just makes me think. Cause like, not that I'm a not that I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that too, but I just look at it like, yo, it kind of makes sense. So the nerd in me, came alive last night. So I was sitting in the movie theater, like, like, kind of reminded me of that movie, Deep Impact. Uh, those of you who are old enough to, remember Deep Impact, it was kind of the same thing. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, yo, let's go kick it with people who value you and your time. Go spend time with them because at the end of the day, you never want to sacrifice who you are as an individual just to make yourself feel accepted or comfortable around individuals. And if you dealing with somebody who says that you too much, simple. Tell them, hey, if I'm too much, then why are you talking to me? If I'm too much, go find less. And I guarantee you, these people who tell you that you too much, they're gonna keep coming back because like you're gonna fill a void that that other individual that they talking to or that they dating can't. And you just gotta recognize that, and you have to move forward. It's like my man Nipsey once said, not not every closed door is a closed opportunity. sometimes, man, it's like you have to look at things like, okay, it didn't work out, but what can I take from that situation, and what can I learn from that? Because in every situation that you're in, there's going to be situations that you can learn that you can take a positive from, and you can learn from that, And so at the end of the day, when you're dealing with people like that, or people in general like that, you just have to take it for what it is, you know. Like, don't get offended, like, don't get upset. It's like, yo, this. And if you got questions on your mental, on your mental, ask them. It's like, understand that it's like when people ask questions like that, then they're not asking to upset you. They're asking for clarity. They're asking for a way to understand you better. And at the end of the day, if they can't answer questions like that, and especially too if they if they're telling you shit about yourself, and you're like, yo, like, what do you mean by that? Like, can you elaborate on that? And a lot of times people think you're being facetious or being obnoxious. Like, no, I'm just trying to understand you better. Because if I'm too much for you, then you know, why are you associating with me if I'm too much to handle? Anyway, man, another thing I was gonna partake on too. I ran across this video, and then his brother was talking about how he doesn't have time for people, who don't have goals and this and this and that. And because I think one of my partners he had commented on this Instagram story that I posted, and all it said was, all I had was three P's on it, and those three P's stand for, for me personally, stand for passion, pursuit, and plan. You know, and I think it's important, man. I think it's important to, you know find your passion. I don't care what it is, and keep working on that gift. Uh, Pursuit. All of us got a job to do. You know what I mean? It's like, or we working a 9 to 5 or whatever it is, right? Uh, and so we gotta we gotta pursue the passion that way, because goals and everything, they ain't free. Like, you have to keep working at it. And lastly, have a plan. Have a plan to basically make your passion, like, your main goal. If you look at everybody who's successful in whatever arena that they're in, whether it's music, sports, you know, history, whatever it is, they all had a plan. Because a lot of times we got to do stuff that we don't want to do in order to get to the places where we want to go. And with that being said, man, find your passion, pursue it like crazy, and plan. Anyway, man, I hope y'all keep it in the 4 P's. Private player, positive and pushing. I'll see y'all next week Sunday, man. Goes. Love y'all.